Hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, February the 20th, and we are back at Casey Kitchen Center. Yeah, we had about all the fun we could stand at the loft this weekend, so I came screaming back to Casey Kitchen Center where it is quiet. Let me get caught back up here with you. John decided that it would be a fantastic idea to have a Double Trouble Slumby party last night, and then he got called to go to Kentucky. He had to go to Kentucky, and then today he is in Ohio. So anyway, hello and happy Sunday, everybody. It is much quieter here at Casey Kitchen Center than it was at the loft, so I am here. And I also found out why God gives children to young people. Let's see, Myrna is here. Let's see, I think, who else snuck in here? Just a second. Hey, come on, you got to give me that. You got to give me the comments. Hello, Kim. Hello, let's see who else is here. Oh, hello, Linda from Rock Island, Illinois. Man, that thing is a little bit behind on the comments. Hello, Myrna. I think I saw hello, Carol Lou. Let's see, Mary Ann is here from Pennsylvania. Hello, Kim. I think I already said hello to you. But anyway, so took just a second for that to catch up. But hello and happy Sunday, everybody. Hello, Evie. If you are brand new, please let us know that you're brand new because we would love to welcome you. We'd love to welcome you. We would all like to say hi and hello. If you're watching this later on YouTube, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. If you don't want to say hello, you know, your loss, not ours. And hello, let's see, Mary from Pittsburgh. I'm getting in both screens right now. But yeah, we would love to welcome you. We would love to say hello. So in case you hadn't noticed, we are back here at Casey Kitchen Center again. Today is February the 20th. And hello, Cynthia from Ohio. John, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you a little bit. John, again, decided it would be a great idea to have a Double Trouble Slumpy party last night. And then he left and went to Kentucky and then Ohio. Hello, Rosie. So it is much quieter here. Let's just say that Dusty and I will definitely be taking a nap as soon as we get home. I'll be super happy to have a queen-size bed all to myself because everyone will be gone. Hello, Anna from New York. Yeah, so it was an interesting evening though last night. Super interesting trying to get, hello, Elaine, trying to get a 4-year-old, a 4-month-old, and a diabetic dog to the potty spot, which is a couple of blocks away from where we live downtown. It was interesting at the least. Anyway, hello, Carolyn. So I'm not going to complain about that because I was super happy to have both girls, and you know, as usual, they were extremely, extremely good. I'm hoping that I can see you all. Let's see. I feel like I'm missing some of your comments. Okay, maybe I've got it now. Let's see. Okay, it's trying to catch up. Hello, Lisa from Arkansas. But anyway, hello and happy Sunday, everybody. Hello, Pat from Illinois. Again, hello, Katie. If you're new, let us know that you're new because we would love to welcome you. Hello, Joe. Let's see, Joanne from, it's knocking part of that off, from Edda something. Hello, Trish. And, oh, and Sylvia said the chai skinny syrup is delicious. That is good to know. Hello, Carolyn. Okay, so hopefully I'm getting caught up to you all here. And Trish says something, but my phone is way far behind. Let me see if I can find it. Trish is trying desperately to tell us something, but we will catch up to her in just a second. Okay, anyway, I hope everybody had a fantastic Valentine's Day. I hope everybody stayed out of all of the goodies. I hope y'all had a good week. Hello, Beverly. It is good to see you. Beverly is from Kansas. And Trish, hopefully your comment is going to pop up here in just a second. I cannot see what you were trying to tell us. So February, we are talking about embracing now. And I have to say, one of the little tidbits of news that I came up with for this week is from Top Consumer Reviews. And I just happened to catch a little article from them about the top 10 popular weight loss programs. And I'll give you a guess what was in the top 2. So you all should know. Yeah, number 2 was Weight Watchers. For like 5 decades running. 5 decades running. 50 years. Weight Watchers has been number 1 or number 2. Hello, Orlando Debbie. So it was number 2 on this particular survey, only to be, you know, outranked, you know, number 1 by Noom. And I'm sure, we're not here to talk about Noom. We're here to talk about Weight Watchers, but I wanted to let you know that it's still ranking number 2 after 50 years. And by the way, my fearless leader Gwen is celebrating 40 years with Weight Watchers. 40. I mean, she's a baby. She must have been like 10 when she started because she's just a baby and she's been with Weight Watchers, been doing Weight Watchers for 40 years. But according to Top Consumer Reviews, Weight Watchers is number 2, again, only behind Noom. And so I went ahead and read most of the article to see what the main differences were. Noom has, you know, the technology is a little bit more techie. It's a little bit more techie technology. But both of them, aloha Kathy, both of them seem to have, really good ratings on their technology and the support, for that. The pricing was a little confusing with this. I'm not trying to get you to switch. I am actually getting to something. Okay. I am actually getting to a point. But then there was lots more to read in the article. I will say that Weight Watchers, and they had lots of bragging to do on Weight Watchers, but the one thing after reading the article that I thought that Weight Watchers really still stood out on versus any other plan that there is the in-person support if you are lucky enough to have an in-person workshop. Also the extra support. So I didn't find any Noom live chats on any day of the week. I didn't find any Noom support groups, to speak of, and I didn't find any groups like what we have. But the news actually is, so if you want to check out the article, there were lots of good points about, both programs, but this is the news that I wanted to point out, and this will not be news to any of you who have been doing Weight Watchers for a while. One of the questions that they asked, so one of the frequently asked questions that they had with either program, with any of the programs, so with the top 10 most popular programs, one of the frequently asked questions was, do I have to track everything I eat? And I hear people say, well, I don't want to track everything I eat. I don't want to have to keep up with all of it. But I want to say that according to this, totally independent, has nothing to do with Weight Watchers, does not side with anybody. It's a totally independent study and top consumer reviews. It says it says, do I have to track everything I eat? And it says that depends on which diet you choose. Most experts say that tracking what you eat is the best way to make sure you know how much you're eating, and that people tend to overeat by a lot, by a considerable amount, and not even realize it. Okay, so I don't think that's news to any of us who've been doing this for a while, but it's something that I need to hear, and it's something that I need to remind myself of constantly, is that tracking works. So no matter what program you're doing, some form of tracking does work, even if you're just doing, like a quick ad or something like that, because it's so easy. If you don't just, if you don't have some kind of a written record, even if it's a digital record of what you've been consuming, it's really easy to way overeat. Anyway, I thought that was interesting news for this month. But this is February. We are talking about embracing now. So again, it is good. Well, hold on a second. Let's see what Sylvia said. Let me see. Sylvia says, I didn't realize until today, if you change your 0-point foods, it can change your daily points. So Sylvia, I know that you all can't possibly remember everything from every chat, from every comment that I make. And hello, Sandy. But I will say this before we move on with what the monthly topic is. I will say this. We did talk about this when way back when we started Personal Points, and we were talking about how to take your evaluation, things like that. Hello, Melinda. And I actually had somebody ask me in a private chat this week. She's really, really struggling wrapping her head around only getting 17 points per day now. And I told her, so I had a lot of advice for her that we don't have time to go over right now. I mean, it was like long enough that Instagram cut it off because I had too many words in there. But I will say this, if you choose too many, if you think it's judging you, if you think that there's a human that's reviewing this somewhere and going, like licking a pencil and saying, I don't know, Sylvia didn't put down that she eats vegetables every day. I wonder if Sylvia's eating enough vegetables. There's no human that's judging your answers. So if your answer, if you're not eating vegetables every single day, don't answer that you eat vegetables most days. If you're not eating chicken or turkey breast every single day, don't answer that you're eating them every single day. Don't answer that for fish. I have actually taken avocados off of my 0 points list. As distressing or as exciting as it was to get avocado on there, I don't eat them every single day. So you know what? I don't need to have avocado on there as a 0-point food because I'm not eating it every single day. So if you're not eating a ton of vegetables, if you're not eating avocados, if you're not eating, some of the things that are considered 0-point foods, it's okay to not put on your evaluation that you're eating them every single day. It's okay to do that, and then you will get some more points because it's going to assume the computer the computer model, the engine, the personal points engine that's crunching all of these numbers, it's going to assume, oh, okay, she's not getting, 500 calories in fruits and vegetables every day, so we need to take that into account and move some points over here, make some points available for that. So if y'all have any questions specifically about how that works, you can feel free to message me, or you can comment, here in the chat. Actually, the easiest way for me to answer those questions, honestly, the easiest way for me to see this and have time to answer them is, and Deanna says, be right back. Let me go take that quiz again. I think it's a good idea. If your points are too low, I think you need to be honest in some of those answers. I mean, instead of saying I eat veggies every day, thank you, Lynn. Instead of saying I eat veggies every single, I eat veggies often or most days. If you're not eating a bunch of them, hello, Sherry, and you are eating, maybe you're on that salty, you need to check yes on salty or on pizza, or something like that. I mean, seriously consider doing that. Again, there's no human that is judging this. So the easiest way for me to see these kinds of questions is not here during the chat. I don't mind answering questions during the chat, but there's so many of them that it's hard to go back and see them. Honestly, when Jessica posts the chat, so when she posts it to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and she posts it in a written form, if you all comment there, every single one of those gets emailed to me. Every single one of those comments gets emailed to me, and I see them, and it's easier to respond because then I can respond to you in an email and I can make it as long as I want to. So the person that asked me the question about having too few points and being concerned about that, I can only give her this much answer because Instagram cut me off. If you ask me the question on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, I can answer as long as you want it to be. And y'all know I can talk forever. Okay, so back to the chat. This is February the 20th. I'm Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. We just mentioned you can go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You can comment on any of the recipes. You can comment on any of the chats. And that sends me an email. And I can answer those in length in case you are new. And if you are new, say hello and let us know that you're new because we would love to welcome you. But in case you're new, hello, Jean. Hello, Jean. But in case you're new and you didn't know this, we have all of these notes will be typed out on www.ifyouhaveanegg.com, and many of them are printable so that you can print them and go back and review them. So you don't have to listen because I talk fast. So you do not have to listen and try to make all these notes and think, what did she say? What did she say? I didn't get it. You can print it all out. Or if you just want to listen to it again, if you learn better through listening, you can plug this in on your headphones, starting as early as tonight or in the morning. Casey will have this up on YouTube, and that's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. Hello, Alicia. And you can just plug that in. So you can plug it in while you're driving. Please don't watch the chat while you're driving. Okay, just listen. You can listen while you're exercising, listen while you're doing, housework. Thank you, Linda. Listen while you're doing housework. If you're a good, if that's how you learn is through listening. Okay, so this month is February, and this month's theme is Embrace Now. So the entire month of February, we've been talking about embracing what's going on right now. Again, it's great to look ahead and to think, like John and I, hopefully, fingers crossed, have a trip planned at the end of March. Not saying what it is yet. But if you've been around for very long, you would know why we are so excited about the maybe possibility. But it's great to look forward and to be thinking about things that are coming in the future and to be planning them. It's also a good idea to, keep kind of checking your rearview mirror to see what's going on. But I think this was a wise choice for WW to talk about what's going on right now, because a lot of us spend a lot of time looking way far ahead and not paying attention to what's going on right now. Okay, so first thing I need to know is last week was Valentine's week. So it was the Galentine's, whatever you celebrated last week. But I need to know who sat their bottom in a chair. So who got to go to an in-person workshop last week? Give me a thumbs up. If you're watching this here with us live, you can do thumbs ups down here on your mobile device. And Linda's chair, bottom was in a green chair again. And I bet that bottom's getting little, Linda, because you go every single week. But give me a thumbs up if you attended an in-person workshop last week, or if you got to go to a Zoom workshop last week. So give me thumbs ups for that. There's Rosie. Rosie did both. And give me some hearts if you attended here with us live last week, or if you watched on demand later. So hearts for that. And Sherry was there. Lynn was there. Lynn was at both. Awesome, everybody. Yeah, welcome to everybody who is coming in. So if you're just joining us, today is February the 20th. I am Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and we are talking about attending workshops last week. Oh, and Mary Ann's with bottom was in a green chair too. So I'm one of these franchises that have green chairs. And Lisa did all of it. She did everything, and so did Alicia and Elaine. So bravo stickers to everyone who did, everyone who sat your bottom in a chair last week, or went to a Zoom workshop, or who watched with us live, and Mary's was a green chair too. That's so cool. Or watched on demand later. So bravo to everyone. Yeah, looks like, Sylvia did a lot last week. Linda, Kathy, Kim, Sandra. So good job, everybody. There are your bravo stickers for that. And last week we were talking about unexpected food opportunities, and with it being Valentine's week, I have a feeling that there were quite a few of those. We were super lucky here in the KC Kitchen Center showroom. No one showed up with Valentine's candy, which was amazing. I was super surprised and super happy. No one showed up with candy, cookies, anything like that. I had planned cookies with Alyssa, but that was all planned, so that's not a surprise. That's not an unexpected food opportunity. But last week we realized also that unexpected food opportunities don't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. And I'm going to tell you one that wasn't bad here in just a few minutes. And Gwen had told us a story in our in-person workshop last week of a trip that her and her husband took when they had an unexpected opportunity to try apparently a one-of-a-kind, out-of-this-world dessert that is so complicated to make that you have to order it at the beginning of your meal. And for the last few years, her husband has been kicking himself. Now, he's a civilian. He does not have a weight problem. So I'm sure he would have taken like 2 to 3 bites of that and been like, well, that was good. We can say we've done it, But he has kicked himself in the rear end ever since. That's been a few years ago. So we were talking last week about what to do. So if you have an unexpected food opportunity, like you weren't planning it, it just showed up, or you weren't expecting to go out, or somebody just showed up with food, or whatever, what do you do? So the first thing that I suggested was to say, just think, is it a deal breaker? So is this something that is absolutely going to break the bank? Is it going to break the deal that you made with yourself on, how many points, or what you were going to have, or, what your meals were going to look like, So think about it. Is it a deal breaker? And if it's not, you might want to go ahead and enjoy it if you can, and if it is, maybe figure out how you can plan it in. Like the dessert that Gwen was talking about, they would have needed to make some adjustments, for like the next day and for the meals for the rest of the week. Second thing is it as it should be? So if it's supposed to be hot and salty, is it hot and salty? Or is it kind of, meh, soggy? Hello, train. Wow. He's very excited if y'all can hear him. Or is it soggy, cold, or if it's supposed to be cold and wet, is it starting to get room temperature? But is it as it should be? Does it, is it the right temperature? Is it the right consistency? Because if it's not, skip it. Just skip it. If it's not at its absolute perfection, then just move on. And if it is, think about if you want to try and fit it in, okay? I can fit in some hot, fresh, salty fries, but I have stopped trying to fit into my day, soggy, icky fries out of the bottom of the bag. And then the last thing was, is it once in a lifetime or is it a rinse and repeat? So once in a lifetime was this dessert that, Gwen and her husband, passed up. Or is it something that you could get any day? If it's something that you could have, literally you could go in an hour and go get it. I don't know, you might think about that differently than if it's something that you might not get again for a year or ever. So your homework for last week was #opportunity knocks. And so you were going to tell us when you were faced with a food opportunity, how you were going to handle that. And we had some good ones this week. So Lynn bought some chocolate covered, I think they were almonds. It was chocolate covered something as a treat for Valentine's Day. And she had intended, to enjoy them, but she managed to avoid answering every time those knocked. So she had put them in her refrigerator, and every time they, kind of knocked on that refrigerator door, she managed to avoid them until Wednesday. So Valentine's Day was Monday, so she avoided them for a couple of days, so good job. But then she opened that door on Wednesday. But Lynn proved once again that she is a seasoned WWer, because even though she opened that door, she let that opportunity in. She only let it in for a visit, okay? So she just let it in for a visit, and then she counted how many points it was, and she tracked it. She tracked it, and then she told it, hey, move on. You're not going to stay. We're not going to go down this, path to destruction that we can't get back from. So she let the opportunity just come in, just for that one day, and then said goodbye. I'm going back to my normal schedule. So she proves that she is a seasoned, WWer. And then Deanna she's had a challenging, she has had, hello Liz. So Deanna has had a challenging 34 days. I think it's right at 34 days. It's a little over a month. Taking care of extended family after one of her family members is recovering, from, pretty bad situation. Hello Rita. But she stepped up. Her and her husband stepped up. Went to stay with them for a while. But because she's a pro, one of those days included, hello Rita, one of those days included a 68-point meal, okay? So she had one meal in one of these 34 days. So trust me, there were lots of opportunities to go crazy in this 34 days for lots of reasons. But one of those days, she had a 68-point meal, and she tracked it. She tracked the 68-point meal because she knew that there were homemade tacos coming later that she could control. So she could control how many points, there were for that. So once she also proved that she's killing it. She is killing it on this. So she didn't let that opportunity knock her off her track. She knew, okay, there's a meal coming up that I can plan. I'm going to be in control of that meal. Hello, Julie. So I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity on the 68-point meal because I know my very next meal I've got control over. And by the way, if you've never had a 68-point meal, it's because you haven't tracked it. I promise you have all had more than a 68-point meal. You've all had triple-digit meals, okay? I promise. Hello, Lynn. And the only reason that you didn't know you had a 68-point meal is because you didn't track it, Sorry, not sorry. It happens. Okay, and then me. So, I already said at the beginning of the chat that John invited both girls to come over for a Double Trouble Slumpy party last night, and then he almost immediately got called to go to Kentucky. We don't live in Kentucky. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but we don't live in Kentucky. Okay, so he got him home. I literally got everybody in the door, and then he had to go. So, he had to go to a job site. So, after he left, then, hello, Hattie. Then after he left, long story short, because I could talk about this for 10 minutes, almost as soon as he left, Dusty had to go to the bathroom. And I don't mean number one. And where he goes to the bathroom is like 2 blocks from where we live in downtown Knoxville. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't get the stroller. And I have a 4-year-old, a 4-month-old, and a diabetic dog who is dancing, needing to go to the bathroom. So anyway, we just had let's just say we had an interesting evening and an interesting morning. So I had, a 4-year-old, a 4-month-old, and a diabetic dog that needed to go bathroom several times and had to pack up and, reload and pack up everybody. And this morning, after an interesting 16 hours of bottles, diaper changes, bundling everybody up for, multiple trips 2 blocks down the road, to go to the potty. And all 4 of us ended up in one bed. So me, Alyssa, Bo, and Dusty all ended up in one bed, and I'll be so happy to have it all to myself tonight. Then this morning, I didn't realize it, but I had not eaten anything last night. So I had all this mayhem. I had not taken time to have anything to eat last night. So the last thing I had to eat yesterday was at 3:30ish, maybe 4 o'clock. Now I had things to drink, but I had not had anything to eat. And then this morning, Alyssa is old enough. She can help herself to her food in the refrigerator. So she went and got a mozzarella string cheese with Olaf on the front of it and went ahead and opened it because she has suddenly learned how to do that. Went ahead and peeled it open and brought it to me. And she said, Nona, I have a gift for you. I'm here. This is a present for you. I brought you an Olaf cheese. And I was like, oh, fantastic. I didn't plan an Olaf cheese for today, but honestly, I didn't plan any of the last 16 hours. So I just breathed for a second and thought back to last week's chat. And I thought, I didn't plan for a string cheese, but number 1, I hadn't eaten anything since the day before. Number 2, it was only 2 points. And number 3, and most importantly, this was a special moment with my granddaughter, and we're both going to forget it. I mean, probably tomorrow, neither one of us is going to remember this, but it meant something special to her in that moment. And it was only 2 points, and I had not had anything to eat. So you know what? It was an opportunity. The opportunity knocked, and I took it. So I had the mozzarella string cheese this morning that Alyssa so very, graciously presented to me. So that was your homework for last week. Bravo to everyone who did their homework. Here are your virtual Bravo stickers. If you want real ones, we do still have them available to download on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and you can just go to the, I think it's the shopping section, and we have printable downloads on Bravo stickers. Okay, this week, because I've just about talked us out of time, this week we are talking about how to be okay when it's not okay. We have literally spent years, so I think somebody decided we've been doing this almost 5 years. I've been attending WW workshops for 25 years, but we've been doing this for about 5 years, and we've literally have talked about being okay, not beating ourselves up, learning how to be okay with setbacks, learning how to, bad decisions, learning how to tell ourselves that it's okay, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, move on, and then that don't worry, be happy mantra. Okay. But this week, WW asks us to take a step back and make sure that the not worrying and being happy isn't a door. We're not opening a door for extended vacations to Excuse Town. Okay, so you all know what I'm talking about if you just stop and think about it a second. So there's a definite difference between I ate a sleeve of Girl Scout cookies. I will track it. I'll be happy that I didn't eat the other sleeve. And instead of beating myself up, I will start again at my next meal. Okay, so that's it. That's an okay to be okay. But there's a definite difference between that and I ate a sleeve of Girl Scout cookies, but it wasn't my fault. Somebody else brought them to work. What was I supposed to do? They wanted us to eat them, and somebody else brought them, so it wasn't my fault. So, it's okay, and I'm going to be happy because, it wasn't my fault. Somebody else did it. And I'm not going to beat myself up over it. So, I'll just go ahead and enjoy the rest of Girl Scout cookie season, and I'll start again in March. Okay. That's two different endings to the same tale. Okay. So how can you be okay when it's not, when it's not okay? First thing is listen to your own voice. So say what you're thinking out loud, like I just did, because if you say it out loud, it sounds totally different, and you can hear kind of what you're thinking. So say it out loud, say it to an accountability buddy. So do you hear yourself admitting that setbacks happen and that you are making a plan and you're moving on? Or is your voice full of excuses and why you should just ignore it and start over again in a week or a month or start over again whenever the next WW promo comes out for rejoining? So think about that. Then set a time. So once you decide that you're gonna dust yourself off, move on, go ahead and circle a time in your tracker, or better yet, go ahead and pre-track your next meal. And I don't mean wait until the next day, unless your next meal is the next day, but go ahead and pre-track, plan a time, or go ahead and pre-track your next meal, because then you have set yourself a firm and hard deadline for when you're getting back on track. It's not some ambiguous, day out there. And then the last thing is enlist help. So if you need to say it out loud, do it in your in-person workshop. Hopefully you're at a workshop, like if you have an in-person workshop, hopefully you're at one like we're at, where you were surrounded by, uplifting and supportive people. If chatting with like-minded people would help, then go somewhere like the If You Have an Egg closed Facebook group. It's a closed group, so people who have not been admitted aren't snooping around in there looking to see what you said. Or what, phone lines still work. We still have phone lines. They might not be actual lines, but we still have phones and they still work. So call a friend, call an accountability buddy, call somebody that you trust to just kind of run it by them so that they can say, hey, did you go ahead and track that next meal? Okay, so that, your homework then for this week is, this one's long, okay, in case he's going to kill me when she gets this because it's long. It's hashtag no train to Excuse Town. So it just means you're not taking the train to Excuse Town, okay? So, setbacks are going to happen. They're going to happen, you're going to stumble sometimes, but the homework this week is to commit to yourself and to me and to everybody else here that you are not taking the train to Excuse Town, okay? So the homework is hashtag no train to Excuse Town. And the next time a setback happens, because they're going to happen, tell us what it was, when you're going to get back on track. So like, is it the next meal? Is it in 5 minutes? What happened? When are you getting back on track? And have you already tracked that next meal? And then if you enlisted somebody for help, who it was, go ahead and tag them in that, and then share it, tag me in it, share it on Instagram, here on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. Okay. So I have this really strange feeling that I'm not getting all of your comments. There is one now. Let's see. Janelle says, I've been exercising and eating healthy since the end of December and had to go to the doctor, and she had her, let me see, she had her give walking a break for a while due to her leg, and she feels guilty. Well, you shouldn't feel guilty, Janelle. I mean, are there other things you can do? Can you swim? Can you sit and do some kind of leg exercises? I mean, there's lots of other things you can do besides walking if you've got a leg injury. And Sandra is exactly right. It is time for some water. Okay, so if you are brand new with us, at the 30-minute mark, at the halfway point, we all are going to start, and we're all going to stop and drink some water. And Lynn, the hashtag is, it's hashtag no train to excuse town. So it's really long. It's hashtag NOTRAINTOEXCUSETOWN. Okay, really long. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and look, it's spelling it out. That's so cool. I never noticed that before on the where it is closed captioned. It actually just spelled it out. Okay, I made myself some cold brew tea. Thank you, Carol, for posting that. Some cold brew tea, some cold brew sleepy tea, because I'm planning on sleeping tonight since I will have the bed to myself. Yeah. So everybody, we're at the halfway point. Go ahead and drink some water. Thank you, Rosie, for posting that. Oh, this tea is so good. And if you don't know how to make cold brew tea, it's really, really complicated. Just take your tea, put it in some cold water, and leave it in the refrigerator for a few hours or overnight, and you have cold brew tea. So this is the tea I normally drink hot, but I needed something cold tonight. Okay, so at the halfway point, I also go ahead and put on an apron when I am here so that Casey knows when to divide this up. We're not technically cooking tonight, but I am going to be picking up some food. Oh, thank you, Kristen. It's good to see you. So Kristen used to do my hair, but then she moved far, far away. But my mom, right before she passed away, Kristen, asked me to go ahead and let it start going gray. So here you go. This is what color it is. This is what the natural color is. Okay, so even though we're not technically going to be making any food, and I don't think I'll put it up because I'm not actually making anything tonight, but I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to be doing while John is out of town. So last week, y'all know we had a taco bar, and Debbie said for the tea bags, hold on, where did you have that little bag? Oh, so Debbie, this one is we don't have this particular one at Casey Kitchen Center, but this is a Jolie. I think I got this at Home Goods. If you have a Home Goods, highly recommend it. Okay, I think I am going to do just a little bit of something to get my hair kind of out of the way while I'm talking. But last week we had, for the Super Bowl, John and I had gotten ready. We had gotten a taco bar ready. And I'm sorry he is not here tonight. He is either in or driving to a job site in Ohio. So yeah, he's with the guys. I don't think they really wanted to come to the chat tonight. But, so last week we had the taco bar, for the Super Bowl. And we had it for several days leading up to the Super Bowl. And you all know, if you've been around for any length of time, you know that I do a little meal prep, but I don't do a lot of meal prep because I can't eat the same thing 3 to 5 days in a row. It's just not going to happen. Okay. So what we did instead is so if you go back and watch the chat from 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was talking about getting ready. It was 2 weeks ago. I was talking about getting ready for the taco bar and what I was doing to get ready. Well, by last week's chat, we had it as a taco bar. Then we had it as a nacho bar. Then we had it as a deconstructed, it was more or less a deconstructed Chipotle bowl. And then I think it was like 2 nights after that, I had the last of it as like a quesadilla. So, I used every bit of it. So I used all of the frozen chicken. I used all of the guacamole and pico mix that I had. I didn't use all of the sour cream, but that's okay. We'll use that on other things. And then we did gosh, what else did we use? We had already used all the beans. We had, we used all of the little tortillas that we had. Anyway, so and all of the cilantro. So all of the microgreen cilantro. So we used all of that. So even though it started out as a taco bar, we had taco bar, nacho bar, I already forgot, taco bar, nacho bar, deconstructed chipotle bar, quesadillas, and then just tacos. Okay, so I made it last 5 days, and I managed to entertain myself for 5 days. So John is gone until this coming weekend, and so I'm going to do that again this week. I'm not doing a nacho bar, though. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do while he's gone. So I think this will be especially helpful for people who are eating for one. I know I get that question a lot. You know, it's just me. It's just me at home. I'm not going to fix a meal. I'm not fixing dinner. And, do you have any recipes that are just for one person? I get that question a lot because a lot of you all are single, for by choice or not. But a lot of you all are single and you're just like, still, I get home and I just, I can't think of anything to make. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be making for myself this week while John is gone. Let's face it, I'm not going to cook a lot, while he's gone. And this is also an opportunity for me to have a couple of things that he normally would not eat. Okay, so sorry while I grab another sip of water. So this week for me, it's going to be, y'all see like Carol Lou's an empty nester. Yeah, and even if there's two of you, sometimes you just, I don't know, you just get home and you think, I'm going to binge watch Netflix and really just don't feel like making anything, okay? So, first of all, how cute are these stinking bags, okay? I'm thinking about trying to find these to carry at Casey Kitchen Center because this is a reusable produce bag. Again, home goods. And I'm thinking about trying to find them, for Casey Kitchen Center because this was so stinking cute. And believe it or not, the little girl across the street at Food City did not have any problem with this. She did not have any problem figuring this out. So I was super excited about that I did not get yet another plastic bag that I am going to throw away because I'm doing all this to reduce food waste and then I'm like overflowing in plastic bags. Also, total side note, and unless you know me, you're not going to understand why this is so exciting. We have composting now in downtown Knoxville. So it is within walking distance of our loft. And we have composting opportunities. And it is super hard to compost in a loft. I passed the composting test. Okay, you have to take a test to get the code. I have the code. So I passed the test. Woohoo! Yay me. Okay, and I gave y'all your Bravo stickers for your homework, right? I think I did. Anyway, so this week it's going to be a potato bar. So I'm doing a potato bar instead of a nacho bar this week. And I'm doing potatoes because I can cook all of these in the air fryer. I can cook, I know Debbie's like, yippee! So she understands why that's so exciting for me. But all of these potatoes, I can go ahead and cook them in the air fryer. And I think we do have a recipe or do have a how to do that on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And it's just how to make baked potatoes in the air fryer. But basically, if it's a russet or a golden potato, so it's a regular potato, not a sweet potato, then you're gonna wash them really good, pat them dry, and then poke a couple of holes in them with a fork. You're not going to wrap them in aluminum foil. You're not going to do anything else special. You can spritz them with a little bit of nonstick spray if you want to, but those are going to go into the air fryer on 400, and it's going to take, depending on how big the potato is, it's going to take anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes for those to cook. But they're super easy, and you can go ahead and pre-make them so that they're already ready. I am going to have sweet potatoes 2 of the nights that John is gone, so I have 4 russet potatoes, and then I have 2 sweet potatoes also in another one of these super cool little reusable produce bags. But I'm going to have sweet potatoes 2 of those nights. Okay, let's see if I left myself enough time to not have to talk quite so fast. So first things first, a potato bar. If potatoes are on your 0 points food list, let's see. Carol Lou says, I did a potato bar for the luncheon with my sisters. And one of them is vegan, and it was a huge hit. Yeah, potatoes are a great way to make vegan people happy, okay? Because they're nice and filling. And like my sister, was vegan before my mom ever thought about it, and I don't know why, but everyone tried to feed her tomatoes and cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is not vegan. Anyway, it was just strange. Like everywhere we went, people were like, panic, panic, panic. I promise you, vegan people like potatoes, and a lot of times they can find toppings to go in them that are also vegan. Vegetarians do, and meat eaters love them too. Okay, so, oh wait, let's see. Jennifer says she loves potatoes, and she's gotten to where if they have tacos, sloppy joes, or barbecue, she puts it on a potato instead of bread or a bun. That's a fantastic idea, Jennifer. That's a great idea. So if potatoes are one of the things when you took your evaluation, or what did Deanna call it earlier, your quiz, when you took your quiz, if you chose potatoes as a 0-point food, hello Vicky, if you chose potatoes as a 0-point food, then this would be 0 points, okay? If you did not choose potatoes as a 0-point food, it's okay. It is okay. You can still use it as a base. So I have, while John's out of town, I've got 4 russet potatoes and I have 2 sweet potatoes. And this is what I'm going to do with them. So first of all, it's potatoes, okay? Some of these will have veggies in them and some of them will not. So I also went ahead and got 2 bagged salads. Now, I would just like to tell you, I would just like to impress upon you that bagged salads have a little bit more points than if you constructed a salad by yourself, but I'm going to be home alone. I don't need a huge thing of cabbage. I don't need a huge thing of kale. I don't need a huge thing of spinach. I mean, I don't need everything that it would take to make this would go to waste. Okay, so for me, this is going to be a time saver, a waste saver, because all of this will get consumed, and it's a couple of extra points. It's not, it's not a big deal, and they are delicious. What I want to impress upon you though is this bag is 3.5 servings. Okay, I eat this in two servings. I know people that eat this as 1 serving. This is great if you're trying to add some points back. I mean, it's great to eat this much salad, I guess, if you're trying to add some points back, but I'm just going to recommend that you that you fiddle with your those, and they are huge honking potatoes, Carol. You're exactly right, because by the time I get home, I've not eaten much all day. So yes, these are huge potatoes. But I just want to impress upon you that, and no, Silly, this is not lettuce only. But I just want to impress upon you that maybe eat some other food with this, like the potatoes, or like when I eat this here at Casey Kitchen Center, I'll put like some chicken or some avocado or, one of my 0-point foods in here with it to, to kind of bulk it up. But this has, so Sylvia asked, so this particular one, because I bought 2 different kinds, has green cabbage, kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and radicchio. Then the dressing is it also has dried cranberries, poppy seed dressing, and pepitas. So it has dried pumpkin seeds. But these are, I don't know, these are fun. They do have more points. Some of them are like 5 points for the amount that I eat, 5 or 6 points. But anyway, it's just a great way to, add back some veggies. I have noticed on these bag salads, you're going to have to add your veggies. Most of them do not go ahead, and most of them do not, when you scan them, most of them do not have the plus symbol to go ahead and add back non-starchy veggies to your day. But if I tried to buy everything that I needed to make that, I mean, I'd have a head of cabbage. I'd have a head of cabbage, a thing of kale, way more broccoli than I could ever eat. Brussels sprouts. I mean, buy like 3, Brussels sprouts and radicchio. I've never bought radicchio. I would never buy that. But anyway, so those are a great idea. Okay, so again, potatoes also have sides with them. So this is not just going to be a potato, okay? On Tuesday night, I will admit, after my WW meeting, one of these potatoes will probably just be a potato with some butter substitute and some sour cream and a little bit of cheese, because I will be starved by the time I get home. So it will probably just be simple. These are all going to get cooked in the air fryer tomorrow. And again, you can go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and see how to cook this. The sweet potatoes cook for a little less time. So I don't do my sweet potatoes and my Yukon or my Yukon Gold or my russet potatoes at the same time, because they need 2 different lengths of time. And when I have in the past tried to cook them together, these sweet potatoes are already way overdone before I remember to take them out. So I cook them at 2 separate times, wash them, pat them dry. You can spray them with a little bit of nonstick spray, poke a couple of holes in them with a fork, and it's 400 for like 35 to 45 minutes, and then poke them again with a fork to see if they're done. Okay, the sweet potatoes a little bit less time. So day 2, which is Tuesday after my WW meeting, probably just going to be a normal potato, like a regular baked potato. I've got some bacon that I can do, so I can make like a loaded baked potato, and then I can do a side salad with my bagged salad mix. But for the rest of the nights, one of the potatoes that I'm going to make, I bought enough of this to go in all but the one night. So I don't have enough of this to do on Tuesday night. That's why I said that's probably just going to be just a regular potato, because that I can just, it'll already be cooked. And then, oh yeah, so Debbie says, be careful with the additions if you are sensitive to certain items, like the Southwest, bag salad has dried corn in it. So just kind of watch what the ingredients are. But I'll tell you, they're all delicious though. So that's not going to be a problem. But I bought enough of this to do the rest of the days. And these are made by Gardein, and they're classic meatless meatballs. A serving is 3, and a serving is 3 smart points. So even if you have tofu or tempeh, whatever, on your 0 points food list, a prepared meat substitute like this is not going to count as, even though this is made with textured vegetable protein, soy protein, this is not ever going to be on your 0 points food list. So I just want to say that out loud. That would be actual tofu or actual tempeh or something like that. It's not going to be one of these pre-made, because this has other ingredients in it. So John's not a huge fan. He's not a fan. But usually if we're going to have meatballs, he wants real meatballs. So these have 14 grams of protein. It has 0 cholesterol in it. They're ready in just a few minutes. You can, I can heat these up also in the air fryer when I'm ready for them. They have just a hint of an Italian herb, but I can flavor them. I can really, add some flavors, however I want to. You can, this is not meat, but it tastes pretty much like meat. I mean, especially if you put other things with it. So this for, 5 of the days, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for 5 of the days, I'll be adding some Gardein meatless meatballs. To the Gardein meatless meatballs, though, I will be adding, one of those nights, I'm going to add, I went ahead and got some more of the holy guacamole in the individuals, and I got the chunky this time. Last time they only had the smooth, but I'm going to be adding some of this, and then I've got some chopped tomatoes at home, and I have some microgreens that I'm going to put on there. So it will be a potato. So it's going to be one of the russet potatoes. It will have 3 of the Gardein meatballs that I've prepared on there. And remember, I'm cooking the potatoes ahead of time, so they'll be ready. They'll be ready to go when I get home. I just have to slice those babies open, add my other ingredients, reheat it, if it needs to be reheated, and it's going to be good to go. So one of the nights, it's going to be the potato, and it's going to be, let's see, pods. Those pods freeze well. What pods? Potatoes? Pods? I don't know what am I missing? What pods, Debbie? But anyway, so the holy guacamole minis, and it's the chunky kind. So I'm going to have this, tomatoes, maybe a little bit of cheese. Oh, so these freeze? Hold on, is that what you're talking about, Debbie? Are you saying that these, you can freeze that? I did not know that. I had no idea that you could freeze those. But anyway, and if you chose avocado as one of your, I had no idea. That's like a whole new world, and y'all know how much I love to sing that. So yeah, that's awesome news. If avocado was on your 0 points list, this would be 0 points, because these are just avocado, tomatoes, onions, and some cilantro. So these would be 0 points at that. So anyway, so that's one of the days. Okay, then one of the other days, again, regular baked potato, one with guacamole, tomatoes. I've got I have some cilantro microgreens. Good night, Alicia. I have some cilantro microgreens that's going to go on there, and one of the part of one of the bagged salads. So that's going to be super yummy one night, super quick, because the potatoes will already be cooked. We've only got 12 minutes left. I will sidetrack and say, if you have not had a baked potato out of the air fryer, you must stop now and do it. You will never, ever, ever cook a potato in the microwave again. In a moment of desperation, I cooked a potato in the microwave. I don't know, it's been probably 2 months ago. And I threw it away. I just absolutely threw it away. It was disgusting, and I used to eat them that way all the time. Cooking the potatoes in the air fryer though makes them so fluffy. The way they turn out when you cut them open, it is like a steakhouse baked potato. It is the consistency of it's how a baked potato should be. Okay, and it's easy because you just put because you just stick it in the air fryer and walk off. You know, go do something else, go take a shower or something else. And Mary wants to know if you can reheat them in the air fryer. You can for things that need to be reheated. Like I'm not going to heat guacamole. But if it's something like the meatballs, I will probably cook the meatballs separately and then yes, reheat those with the potato in the air fryer. That is totally fine. Okay, then another one I'm going to do. I don't know about you, but I love broccoli and cheese in a potato. So when Lean Cuisine first came out, okay, wait, and Katie says, yes, the best single girl tip is to toss the 100 calorie packs of guac in the freezer. Thank you guys. I had no idea. Awesome. That is super awesome. That might even make it to the news that we have for next year. So read the time and the temperature on the potatoes for the russet or golden potatoes. It is 400 degrees for 35 to 45 minutes, depending on how big, but like these are big potatoes. I expect these to take 45 minutes. The sweet potatoes, you need to check them at about 30 to 35 because they don't take anywhere near as long. But when Lean Cuisine came out years ago, and I'm talking when I was in high school, so 30 something years ago, when they came out with microwavable potatoes, and so it was a potato, and it had broccoli, like steamed broccoli on it, and liquid cheese, just like cheese on it. I ate those every single day. So one of these is going to be a russet potato. I'm going to steam some broccoli and cauliflower. I probably will do that in the microwave and then put that on the potato. But I also have at home, and I do not have it here with me, I have some Velveeta already, which I know is not vegan, and I know it's not actually even cheese, but some Velveeta that's in a squeeze thing. And I'm going to put that on there, and I'm so planning on it being exactly like one of those Lean Cuisines that I enjoyed so many years ago. But that's going to be one night. So regular baked potato, one night. A guacamole, tomato, I don't know what to call that one, one night. A broccoli and cheese, one night. So that's going to be one night. And remember, and I bought enough of the side salads to do sides, or I could do some more steamed broccoli and cauliflower, any of those nights. Then another night, I'm going to do more of an Italian one. So it'll have, and this will also have the meatballs on it. So the broccoli and cheddar one is also going to have, a couple of the meatless meatballs on it. Then another night, I've got the meatballs. I've got the Gardein meatless meatballs. I'm going to use those. And I have some mushrooms at home, but also I went ahead and I had some marinara. And I knew I wasn't going to use it. Remember, I've been on this big kick about not throwing things away. So I knew I was not going to use all the marinara before it started to get funky. So I put it in a super cube. So this is a 1/2 cup super cube. And I just put it in the freezer, so they're probably not ready. I put it in the freezer a couple of hours ago, so they're probably not ready to pop out yet. But if you can see this, when this is done, yeah, they're not quite ready yet. When this is done, this will pop out so it'll be basically a slice of marinara. It'll be a 1/2 cup slice of marinara. And that's going to go on my potato with a little bit of, I have just a little bit of, oh my gosh, sorry. Casey, who obviously is not watching the live chat, just sent me 3 notifications. So sorry about that. But anyway, so it's going to be 1/2 cup, in the super cube, 1/2 cup frozen blocks of marinara so that I don't have to throw the rest of it away, and I can put it in the freezer. I can put it in a freezer bag, and I can just pull them out as I need them. So one of the nights, a potato will be a potato. It'll have heated up, one of the 1/2 cup cubes of marinara, the meatballs, and then I have just a little bit of shredded mozzarella cheese at home, and I have some mushrooms to go with that one. Okay, so what about the sweet potatoes though? So I know inquiring minds are thinking, well, Kelly, what are you doing with the sweet potatoes? oh my gosh, I cannot wait to try this. So I'm thinking I'll do russet potato, sweet potato, russet potato with something different, sweet potato, because I'm so planning on the sweet potatoes being out of this world that I want to have the same thing twice, I think, if it tastes like what I think it's going to. And you know, I will share with you whether or not it does. But what I'm planning on doing, again, meatless, the meatless meatballs, but I am going to do, because a sweet potato tastes best with something sweet on it. So I'm planning on taking the meatless meatballs, adding sugar-free syrup and the Red Mountain rub, and just a little bit of Truvia baking blend like I do for my candied bacon, and basically making candied meatballs and then putting that on the sweet potato. Does that not sound fantastic? So it'll be a candied meatball, candied with sugar-free syrup, a little bit of Truvia baking blend, and the Red Mountain rub like I do the candied bacon, which is fantastic, and then put that in one of the sweet potatoes. And I'm literally so excited to try that. I can barely stand it. But anyway, so those are my ideas for a potato bar. And while John's out of town, you know, I mean, this would be great for, you know, if you're just one person cooking a meal, if it's just two people cooking a meal, if you've got kids that not everybody likes the same thing and you need to make a different potato, you know, for each one of them. The potatoes are super easy to cook in the air fryer. Again, go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and you can see exactly how to do it. You know, and you can make something different, you know, for everybody. Okay, so I'm exhausted from keeping two girls for 16 hours by myself. And I know there are moms all over the world right now that are saying, Kelly, oh my gosh, we do it all day, every day. You know, yeah, this is why God made people young when they have children, because it's exhausting. But do y'all have any questions about the potatoes before I wrap this up? Because I'm going home alone, and Dusty and I are just going to spread out on the queen size bed all by ourselves and sleep and sleep and sleep. But do y'all have any questions before I wrap this up? Everybody got it? Everybody good? Everybody excited to see what I make this week? And these are going to be so easy because, again, all the potatoes are going to be pre-prepared in the air fryer. It's so easy. And if you don't have an air fryer, then go ahead and just make potatoes however you make potatoes. You can cook them in the oven, you know, whatever it is that you do, you know, to go ahead and have your potatoes ready. And you can wrap them and freeze them. And let's see, Melinda says, I'm young and I get exhausted when I have to watch my niece. I'm not going to lie, Alyssa's like the easiest person on the planet to keep up with, okay? Easiest person on the planet to keep up with. But having both of them, shoo, that was exciting. Yep, thank you, Sandra. You have a good evening too. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, Sylvia says she can't wait for Potato Week. Yeah, so it's Potato Week. That's what we're going to name it, Potato Week. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and let you all go. If you were watching this on YouTube, yeah, and Rosie's loving your air fryer, yay! If you're watching this on YouTube, just go ahead and let that next video roll over, and please hit the subscribe button so that the subscribe button down here so that you can, you know when our next video is going to come out, and you can go ahead and click on that little bell and then it'll notify you. But y'all have a great week and a good evening, and I can tell Dusty is exhausted. He has not moved. He's not moved this entire time. And I had the meatball sitting right here in front of him. But anyway, y'all have a fantastic week, and I will see you next time. Good night. Don't forget to do your homework. Good night, everybody.